This is incredible. His voice is spectacular. That was so freaking cool. I feel like K-pop these days is just exciting. Hello, my lovely beautiful Claire Bears. It's Elsie. Welcome to my channel if you are new, and if you are returning, welcome back. First of all, I want to thank all of the folks who voted in the 2 polls that I conducted for what to cover in this October-November comeback catch-up reaction, where there were 7 different videos and songs that emerged, which I'll get to in just a second. But second of all, I want to thank all of you for your patience for these reactions, as October and November were very, very busy months for me. I was in Korea in October, which was amazing, and then this month work has been absolutely bananas, and then I got COVID on top of that. So for both the sake of my physical and mental health, I just had not been posting as much the last couple months as I normally do, but I'm really excited to be getting to the videos that we're getting to today. We've got girl groups, we've got boy groups, we've got female soloists, we've got male soloists. So much to get to today, so let's get right to it. But before we do, please don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel. Adored KDA's music, and I've been listening to it non-stop since I initially listened to it in the winter. And I know this is technically not KDA, but it made me interested in this connection between K-pop and League of Legends. So I was really interested to cover this song, and maybe this will be a segue into me potentially covering more NewJeans on my channel in the future. So according to a Billboard article, NewJeans is the latest act to play a part in the League of Legends World Championship, where the stars provided the championship with this year's anthem, GODS, making them the first K-pop group in the game's history to provide a song for the annual event, which marks the 10th year anniversary of the game's World Championship anthems. I feel like it's a super smart move on behalf of NewJeans as well as Riot Games to collaborate with artists to make songs like this, because, you know, I don't play League of Legends and I'd heard of it, but it's not really until something like this that I actually seek out more information about it. And then it could be a thing where League of Legends fans and people who play the game hear about NewJeans and get interested in their music. So it seems like a very interesting and smart partnership, you know? And I really love the like epic genre of K-pop. Really love a good, you know, cinematic K-pop song a la Wonderland by ATEEZ. So let's listen to and watch the music video for GODS. Oh. So it's like a animation. Ooh, this is very like Arcane-ish. I loved Arcane. Ooh. It's kind of trappy, which is different than what I've heard before from NewJeans. Ooh. This is so epic. Huh. Ooh. You know, this concept is so cool of really putting the esports player into the center of the action. And I kind of wonder if this is supposed to be depicting someone in particular. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm on an article on oralcrave.com, and it says how it refers to a Korean pro player on League of Legends whose team won the 2022 championship named Kim Deft Hyukyu. And in the pre-release, it said the music video follows the story of Korean pro player Kim Deft Hyukyu from his discovery of League of Legends in high school to his run at Worlds 2022 alongside his team that overcame all odds to become world champions. That's such a cool idea for a music video. And I feel like another cool reason for this collaboration, you know, at this point with a Korean being on a team that won the championship the previous year. And they really just like set the stakes from the beginning so high because of, you know, from like this first lyric of just blood on the game ball, everybody dropping like rainfall, this is your moment, and eyes on the pulpit, kid, I think church just opened, and they're singing your praises of, you know, the victor of this tournament can be like a god to the fans. And it could be like that too with K-pop, where it almost feels like the most popular idols out there are just like gods. And one more step, you're immortal now, because once you play God, they're gonna crumble one by one. And the like instrumental and the intensity of the music itself just like really backs up the lyrics and this feeling of just like a huge moment that's about to take place. So like, yeah, they've done a really, really good job at just like creating the hype for the tournament with this song. This is one of his teammates. I just only realized now that it's been all in English. Ooh. I'm sure these are like weapons you can use in the game, right? Ooh. This is so cool. It makes me kind of want to play. Although I'm sure I'd get absolutely annihilated. It's like that moment when you think you've lost it and you can see the wind just like fall out of your grasp. Like the imagination and the animation is just great. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's his teammates. That's so nice. Ooh. Huh. So is this kind of like, is he battling himself here? So it's almost like battling your own demons? Because the mental game is... like the mental game is also a big part of it. Ooh. Oh, the intensity of the song. Oh, that's like everything. Huh. Oh, he's like triumphant at the end. Ooh, oh, that was so freaking cool. But we're not done yet. Now what? Is this like this year's contenders? That would be so freaking cool to have yourself like immortalized almost by something like this, by being in this kind of animation for a game that you spend so much of your time invested into.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I found this video and I think I was very wrong about the ending part, at least. This video by the user Domi, because the music video revolves around Deft, but it seems like two League of Legends players went to the same high school, and his signature champion was Ezreal, which was depicted in the video. But yeah, it seems like there's way more going on than I realized, and it definitely required a much more in-depth knowledge of League of Legends and previous championships and, you know, previous matchups of SK, T1, Faker, Zed, Sling, Baron, and a whole bunch of different players being represented in the video. Oh, interesting. And it looks like T1 was the winning team in 2023, which is a Korean team, where Faker was one of the members. Ha! I feel like that's so fitting. But the song is just like so intense and so epic. I feel like even just outside of the context of what this song was made for, it would be such a good like workout song, or just a song to boost your confidence if you feel like you're just having like a crappy day. And it feels like such a departure from what music that I've heard from NewJeans before, and it's one of those things where I probably would have had no idea just listening to the song without knowing that it was by NewJeans, that it was NewJeans, because so much of their music that they've done so far is that kind of like Y2K R&B, very like youthful type of music. So this is just really like a heel turn, and now it makes me very curious if there's any other NewJeans songs that are actually like this out there that I just haven't heard. Definitely let me know in the comments, because I would love to check that music out. But now we're going from one video game song to another video game song with Perfect Night from SSERAFIM, which is another English language single in collaboration with the video game Overwatch 2, according to NME. And Overwatch 2 is a first-person shooter game developed by Blizzard, which I believe did like Warcraft and World of Warcraft, but doesn't look like people are big fans of it. Unfortunately, I hope the song is better than the fan perception of the game. So it'll be interesting going from Gods to this to see if there are any similarities at all, and if there's like that similar level of epicness to Perfect Night. Let's watch and find out. In the dance studio. Cute. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this animation. And I love that there's choreo. Uh-oh. Traffic. The yawn in the backseat. Oh, and the hat. Uh-oh. Sounds good to me. I like the braids. I love how fun and playful this song is. I really was not expecting that. They're using their powers to get to the get to their destination. This is so fun. Oh. I'm guessing that these are different characters in the games. They made it! But they brought coupons instead of the tickets. And the choreography is like really fun too. Nice. It's like they all have their individual kind of like powers that they're bringing. This was so fun and like so different. So much more playful than the previous song. It's funny because if I would have had to guess which group between Gods and Perfect Night, which group would do which song, I would have thought that NewJeans would do this song for Overwatch and that LE would do Gods. But I kind of like that subversion of your expectations. And LE doing this more like fun and light concept about having fun with your girlies. We're gonna party till it's early, got me feeling otherworldly tonight. And this is such a nice line. I got all I need, you know, nothing else can beat the way that I feel when I'm dancing with my girls. Like, facts. Truer words have never been spoken. But honestly, nowadays, going out, this would be me. I'm normally in bed by like 10:30, and I don't care what's wrong or right. Don't start blowing up my line. And that's a good message for them to be sending of the girlies come first. And it was a really fun idea to have these like two separate timelines going on at once of the Overwatch girlies and LE. And they've got their, you know, merch on and everything. It's so fun to see two completely different video games, two completely different groups, and two completely separate concepts for a song for a video game, and both of them just like still working so well despite being so different. But all right, shifting gears now to something very different. We're gonna be doing Taemin's Guilty music video, where I have to make a bit of a disclaimer, a bit of a disclosure before we dive in of I've heard chunks of this song before and seen parts of the choreography on social media, because like if you are even remotely, even like on the peripherals of the K-pop community in the last, you know, month, you have seen things about this song and seen different artists collaborate, do choreography or TikToks to this song. Like, it's unavoidable. And there's no way I was going to get through a whole month without having seen anything along those lines. No amount of frantic swiping away could have stopped it. And I felt like that was important to mention because as much as this is a reaction channel, I also consider it just as much of an analysis channel. So just because I've seen a chunk of the choreography and heard a chunk of the song doesn't mean that I can't dive into the music video and go into things a little bit deeper, but I still feel like it's important to mention that, especially if you're wondering, you know, why my reaction maybe isn't bigger than it is to one piece of choreography I know in particular is coming. But I'm very excited to see this music video and hear the song in its entirety, because the little that I have heard from Taemin has just been absolutely spectacular, and he really seems like one of those one in a generation type of talent idols where it's almost like everything he touches just turns to pure gold. And I really want to dive into his career, into SHINee, into his solo stuff further. It's really just, of course, as always, been finding the time. So anyways, let's get into our reaction to Guilty. Ooh, that run. It's like that temptation piece. Ooh, if you want as a bait, then I take everything. Ooh, oh, it's so creepy. There's just like this ominous feeling that just like covers everything. This like underlying evil almost. I just feel like Taemin is so good at capturing so many different emotions in his music, and there's this like seductive nature to this that goes beyond not just like in a sexual sense. It's like more so something trying to pull you under and like lure you in. Especially with this line, make you addicted, you can't tell pain from love. And that in this video, he's almost serving as like the personification of this toxic kind of love, where someone seeks to kind of make you dependent on them and just looks to take and take and take. And you know, with like these hands that just appear, that it kind of just follows you wherever you go, even if you're not with that person. And then the combination of the lyrics and the choreography in that chorus, so with you got me guilty, trick and take everything from you, again, just playing a game all for fun, hundreds of lies, my words taking you for a spin, who's gonna punish me, loving you's a crime, when you've caught on, I'm already all gone. So clearly this relationship is just one-sided of you are addicted to me, but I can just drop you like a heartbeat. And then with the choreography, there's these like slow and seductive movements, like reaching up with his shirt and kind of like grabbing his face and his neck, but other parts of it feel like twisty and turny and kind of frantic to represent that like push and pull of the relationship, of what can draw you in, and then, you know, I show you moments of who I truly am. It's just like, ugh. It's so freaking clever. And I feel like it just truly shows you how genius Taemin is as an artist, as a musician, as a dancer. I just like, there's no one there's no one out there like him. So let's listen to the second verse and then the rest of the song. You've trapped inside me. Ooh. It's like all the dancers representing this just like circling, almost like animosity. Ooh. Wow. The bigger the pain, the sweeter it remains. Like, ruthless. Every time, every time, every time. Ooh. This is incredible. Just like mesmerized. Oh my goodness, absolutely incredible. And even though I did a little bit of it already, I just feel like there's so much to unpack with this, especially because, you know, the first part that I talked about, it was really just him, but then it's all these other dancers come in and they kind of continue to add up. So I wonder if that's almost like the representation of the kind of like the hooks of his toxic love starting to sink in, and almost like they start to multiply because of that's the like increasing intensity of the feeling, and that it's like amplifying his power in a way, and that they represent that like addiction, especially in this part of the video where it almost looks like they're like on drugs. But then this part of the video is interesting where he's like in an old Volvo. I know this because my mom had one where the back of the seats looked like this, and he has an inhaler where it's almost like he can't take the intensity, and there are these other people in uniforms. Someone is clutching at who's maybe like a guard or something, and then the nails just being dug in. There's like this contrast between the self-soothing but then also the self-harm as well. So it kind of feels like this this game is getting to him. But then even in this moment of weakness, he goes right back into it. But yes, everything about this was just stunning. And I don't know if anyone other than Taemin could pull this off. It's just so interesting how deep into darkness he's willing to dive into to make his music, to make his art. And we're all better for it.